Hi, my name is Suraj Akmal.
Hi, I'm Hannah Bedoy.
I'm David Pogrebitsky.
I'm Diana.
I'm Aaliyah.
And this is our design thinking final presentation.
Okay, first we did the empathize phase. So our target user was the undergraduate students at Northeastern, and we wanted to make an app where it was more modern for all the students to use, and it was an all-purpose app where everything that we could find, our resources, is on the app. Some challenges we have with the current apps is there's too many for different purposes, and some of them are outdated. And we had a challenge trying to combine everything in one app, trying to make it compact. And some research we found was some articles. The first one we have is the Northeastern Launches Go app. So during this article, we seen how we can access student information and help meet the students' needs. The second one was students must share their must-have mobile apps at Northeastern. And then we learned how we can incorporate the features of the app into our app. And then the third one was Northeastern Services Now mobile app, making getting tech support even easier. So this was about technology services and how we can feature this into our modern app. And then the boost mobile ordering, we think there were some issues with that and how we can incorporate it. And wanting to know what's happening on Northeastern campus and what the app was lacking for students. And then we did the first interview was for Brian Hubert. He said there was too many apps and wants the apps to be more mainstream and modern. And then the social identity we chose was age because we wanted our app to be up to date with the current standards of how technology is today.
So the second phase is the define phase. We come up with a how might we question, and our how might we question is how might we decide a more centralized portal for students to access the resources they need in a time-efficient manner that has a more pleasant user interface. So in the define phase, we first come up with a view statement, which include users' needs and insights. So our user is, we're targeting a specific user group we were all a part of, and prioritizing the main needs of our users, considering the ease of access and modern user interface. And we also listen to user insights. We disorganize the apps and update the outdated existing apps. So we develop the point of view statement to a how might we question. I think our question is concrete because it addresses the exact needs and insights that we gain from our research and interviews, a centralized portal. Our question is open-minded because there is a plethora of ways that we could have implement a solution to this problem. Our question is testable because we could conduct more tests and research on the student to record their opinion of our idea.
So the next phase is the ideate phase. And we started off by brainstorming. First, we wanted to update the UI of the apps that already existed. And we just came up with a lot of ideas that we could add into this new app, like a food ordering system that actually reflects the real times, consolidating study spaces, dining hall traffic, online menus. And all these are basically just issues that are on separate apps that we thought we could combine to make easier to find and easier to use. And then we go to the prototype phase. So we started off by making this simple app interface that displays our proposed centralized portal. This is just the home page, and it just has like a few of the things we were deciding in our brainstorming phase to put into the app, like dining, wellness, billing, and scheduling spaces. And then we worked on updating it to make it more in depth and like feature more of the things we want to include later on.
So our next phase was the test phase. So our general issue about testing was we wanted to make a prototype that that like visualizes the actual website. So like regardless of like what we did for our project, it'd be hard for users to understand our vision. So we had to create a way for our testers to actually see what we wanted to do with our project. So some positive feedback we got was they really liked their access to the student schedule. So the current NU banner website was really outdated, really hard to use. So they weren't able to use that well. So they liked our implementation of that. They definitely saw the need for our product because they agree that there are way too many apps to use and they're really hard to navigate. And they like how well planned our idea was, how we thought through almost every scenario, every like kind of user group. Some negative feedback we got was like a repetition between Husky Garden dining plan, but that was a really small issue. Weather and time on our main page was absolutely unnecessary. Everyone kept reiterating that, and someone was complaining about the lack of customization on our app. So after like considering some of this feedback, we made a few changes. We removed the time and weather. We added customizable menus, like a more modular interface. We added more information to our schedule page. We made it more like easier to navigate. And we also made a more intuitive miscellaneous page with like extra features. And the way we accounted for different identities was with that customizable menu. Like maybe certain user group wouldn't have their needs fully satisfied by the default features. They'd be able to add their own features to our app with like custom links, custom classes, and like certain menus.
So the last phase was the final product and reflection. So this is what our final product looked like after including the changes that David noted from the interviews that we did. So we envisioned this to work as basically an all-in-one app with the only like redirections being to Canvas. So everything that can be in the app will be in the app. So we wanted our app to be a sleek, modern, and easy to use for like all students at Northeastern, which is the opposite of what they all had now. And like, we didn't want any like slow loading speeds or freezing logins. But in reality, to actually create this app, it would take a lot of skills to make. It would take a lot of skill. So first, we would have to scrape data from the current Northeastern websites just to present them. We have to use JavaScript and develop apps for both iOS and Android to accommodate for the entire student population. And then just even further with that, it would take a lot of coding practice and expertise to develop. So just like reflect on this project, we definitely learned in the earlier phases a lot about Northeastern and its student population. So we found out that a lot of students really care about efficiency. They all want to maximize their time. They don't want to spend time like logging into 100 different websites. They would rather spend that time studying, which is why we came up with our app. But towards the later stages, we learned more internally. This project taught us a lot about the resources we have access to at Northeastern. And we also learned like a lot of collaboration skills, including planning and communication and the different types of group roles. And what we have learned through this project will definitely help us in like our future classes and projects. Thank you for watching.